Last November 3 to 20 last year, we embarked on a European Marian pilgrimage, visiting 6 countries including Italy, Monaco, Spain, Portugal, France, and the Vatican City. Our tour was handled by Bohol-based Dagohoy World Travel. The first country we visited was Italy. We visited 4 major basilicas of Rome, namely the Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls, the Basilica of St. John Laterano, Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore, and the St. Peter's Basilica. So here we are now outside the city of Rome, at the Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls. This is one of the 4 major basilicas of Rome. The Basilica of St. Paul is one of the 4 papal basilicas and the second largest after St. Peter's. It was built on the burial site of St. Paul and has been declared a World Heritage Site by the UNESCO. Here you can admire not only the many works of art, including a complete collection of medallions with portraits of the popes, but also the beautiful external areas with the large facade mosaics with golden reflections, colonnades, gardens, and a stunning cloister. The basilica is so huge. It is 131.6 meters long, 65 meters wide, and 29.7 meters high, the second largest in Rome. The nave's 80 columns and its wood and stucco decorated ceiling are from the 19th century. All that remains of the ancient basilica are the interior portion of the apse with the triumphal arch. This basilica is one of the 7 churches which are traditional pilgrimage sites. It was Rome's largest church until completion of the new St. Peter's Basilica in the 16th century. 65, the Apostle Paul was sentenced to death, and because he was a Roman himself, he was taken outside the walls of Rome to be executed, to be beheaded, and buried. After he was beheaded by order of Emperor Nero, the necropolis was chosen as his burial site. St. Paul's disciples raised a small chapel, and at the later date, the Emperor Constantine ordered that a basilica be built, similar to how the basilica was raised over the tomb of St. Peter in the Vatican. In the year 386, Emperor Theodosia demolished the original church and began the construction of a much larger basilica. Pope Martin V entrusted the basilica to the Vatican monks of the Congregation of Monte Cassino. Graceful cloisters of that monastery began between 1240 and 1241. In 1823, a terrible fire devastated almost the entire basilica. Along with the ancient churches in Rome, it has been preserved in its permanent character for over 1,400 years. The Holy See sent out an urgent appeal asking the faithful to make generous donations for the reconstruction of the basilica. The entire world responded, whether with financial contributions or with precious building materials. The new St. Paul's, reflecting the mission of the Apostle of the Gentiles himself, became an international expression of generosity and richness, manifested in the fine materials used, whether granite or Egyptian alabaster, malachite or granite and African marbles. All that remains of the medieval basilica in the 13th century is an apse mosaic created by a Venetian artist. The basilica has a long series of medallions which to this day depict all the popes in the world history. There was a legend that when the empty spaces of the medallion ran out, the world would end. There are now believed to be 14 left. It is also important to note that in this basilica, every year, the feast of the conversion of St. Paul is January 25th. The week of prayer for Christian community solemnly begins here. As we pass through this vast neoclassical portico in front of the basilica, one cannot miss the imposing statue of St. Paul. St. Paul is recognized by the sword, a symbol of martyrdom he suffered in this place, and of course, the book which reminds us by its inspired letters, which makes up 1/3 of the Bible.